Let's get this debate going, shall we? Is this new song, Anxiety by Doechii, is it the next step in her ascendancy towards potential GOAT status, towards superstardom, or is it just derivative pop rap trash, no better than something Drake might poop out? Okay? That's the debate that I want to have right now, right here with you. And if you're upset about that, that's okay. We're going to work through this. And that's the great thing about Doechii. No matter what she is the kind of artist where she does something and you just have to talk about it. You just have to think about it. It is absolutely awesome. And I want to tell you the story that this debate is not a hypothetical debate. It is literally a debate that I had this evening. So before I did this video, my family was, my son's home for a little bit, and he made some pita for my family. It's this kind of nice Balkan dish with kind of cheese and phyllo dough, and it was very nice. And we were all sitting around having a nice meal. After dinner, the 2-year-old wanted to show us that she knows how to jump now. And if you've ever seen a 2-year-old jump, it's great because they don't even get off the ground. And so I put on the song Jump Around, produced by DJ Muggs of Cypress Hill. That's the most important thing about that song. And we had a fun time sitting there, and I still had Tidal open. And so my daughter was like, "Oh, did you hear this new Playboi Carti song?" And we listened to that. I might do a video about that song as well. And then I was like, "Oh, wait, there's a new Doechii." So at this point, my 2-year-old had gone upstairs with my wife, and I was sitting there with my 6-month-old, my 19-year-old son, and my 17-year-old daughter. And I pressed play on the song Anxiety. My kids had some kind of fit. Like they went into some kind of trance when they heard this song. Like they heard the opening notes and they completely freaked out. And I didn't know what was happening. I was like, I don't, what is this? And it turns out that it is a very close sample of a very popular song that I just missed. When the song Someone That I Used to Know came out by gotye or Goite, I thought it was that song, that Bruno Mars song. Da 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 da. I thought it was the same song. I didn't even know those were two different songs. I just didn't pay attention at all. But it turns out this song by Goite was a huge hit, especially for the young people, your Gen Alphas, your Gen Zs. That this was a really, really important song to them, and that everybody this age knows it. Everybody the age of Doechii, everybody the age of my kids knows it. So this started this whole question, like, well, what does it mean that she did such a close sample of this song? Is it doing enough? Is it transformative enough to miss the copyright strike of judgment, of discernment of us as music fans? Is it just Puff Daddy style, just rote copying? Or is it a meaningful transformation and a valuable sample? Now, before we even get into that, this prompted me to learn a lot about the song by Goite, which itself is all based on samples. It's a sample of a song called Sevilla by Luis Bonfa. Another beat. The beat comes from Chino and it's African percussion. It's a very interesting song, the way that it comes up. And this was the debate. This was the debate that we had. We listened to the song probably 3 times in a row. Then we listened to the song by Gotye and just sort of went back and forth. My son was like, "Listen, it's just not transformative enough. It is just like Too Sexy by Drake. Not the entire thing. We all agree that the rap bit is awesome." But my son wanted it to be all rap. He thought, especially at the end, when it reaches a kind of crescendo, that it's just a simple imitation of the original song. My daughter was maybe a little bit more sympathetic towards it and said, "Well, yeah, but the kind of rat-a-tat part, that's just so good and just sounds so nice, and her voice is so good and the rapping is so good." So that was our whole kind of debate that we had. And it actually made me happy because it gave me a chance to do the thing that I like to do. I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher and a dad, which means I like to talk and I like to teach. And what's fascinating is this definitely fulfills the criteria of a proper pop rap song, to the point where last week I released the actual class that I teach, a college level class, okay, on hip hop and rap music, where I explain pop rap, and that pop rap really does have a format. There is a formula. Perhaps the easiest way to understand it is the formula by MC Hammer and the song You Can't Touch This. A lazy, recognizable sample. Okay? It can't be obscure. It has to be a song that the people know and that people like. Hip hop is all about digging in the crates. Pop rap is about just grabbing whatever, asking for the thing in the window, okay? Hip-hop is digging the crates till you find, the incredible bongo band, and you find the Apache and all that, whereas pop rap is like, oh, what's the most popular song that's come out in the last couple of years? Let's sample that, okay? It has to be inoffensive, and it has to be fairly simplistic. That's what pop rap has to be. And there's a million songs like that. You know that. Too Sexy is just one example of that. Can't Touch This, Ice Ice Baby, Sweet Vibrations, most of this album by Puff Daddy. Listen, it has All About the Benjamins, which is the reason I bought this album. And when I listened to this album, I basically listened to the first track and then skipped All About the Benjamins. But you think about a song like I'll Be Missing You, which sampled a #1 song from like just a decade earlier and just regurgitated and just did the absolute minimum. One could even say less than the minimum to make it transformative and to make it a good song and to make it an original song. Okay? So that's the debate. Is that just what this is? Do, 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 do. Certainly, listening to them back to back, it certainly feels that way. But I'm going to tell you what I heard. So while they were sitting there having a nostalgic, it was like they were doing brain pop with SpongeBob. You know what I mean? Like they just had all this Gen Z just explosion of nostalgia hearing this song. I was like, oh, cool. Doechii is officially entering her makeba era. Okay? If you don't know Miriam Makeba, first of all, you're welcome. The slogan of this channel is ignorance is profound, which means that it is important to know what you don't know and to embrace that. Water. So, if you don't know Miriam Makeba, you're welcome. I've just introduced you to one of the greatest singers, performers, interpreters of all time. And her style of singing that I hear from Doechii, I don't know. I don't know if Doechii listened to Makeba growing up or now, or if it's just a coincidence, but that's what I hear, especially in the way that she plays with her voice. Listen to the song on this album, track 2 on side 2, Aman Pondo. Aman Pondo. You'll hear all the kind of and all the different layers and the plays with like rhythm and singing and just like a sincerity and a depth of the voice. And what I love is that if you go back to the samples of the original song by Gotye, a lot of them are either directly inspired by African sources or actually African sources. So I think Doechii is taking a song which is not African, but is African inspired, and making it sound, at least to me, more African, which means that I think this is not Diddy, okay? I mean, not the artistic crimes that he did, not the actual crimes that he did. What was the other one? The Been Around the World, nah, yeah. Oh my God, man, he is just the worst sampler. I don't think it's that. I think this is really a great song, and I think it's really great because it's so transformative and just because of the absolute unbearable strength of Doechii's voice. So I'm going to take you through the song in 10 parts, because that's the other thing. It's not a little tiny thing. It's not a simple sample and just covering it and just saying yeah over it. It's a whole thing. It starts off with part 1, the intro, the sample, and she sings the word anxiety, and it's totally on the nose, and thank you, because that's the thing. This song is not inoffensive. This song is challenging, okay? It's not like Can't Touch This or Ice Ice Baby, because she's talking about the state that she's in. She's so hot right now, okay? She is Hansel hot. That is how hot she is. She is so hot right now. Grammys, everybody's talking about her. Is she going to tour with Kendrick? Is her next album going to be the biggest thing ever? Is she everything to everybody all at once? Is she the new Lauryn Hill? Is she the new Miriam Makeba? Is she the new? Is she the new? Is she the new? Is she the new? Okay? Can you imagine the pressure you must feel? And if you're naturally anxious already, just by nature or just by nurture, all of a sudden you have all this on you. So she's telling us the truth. She is feeling anxious, and she's going to tell you, and she's going to tell you on the nose. And if you know anything about me, I have struggled with anxiety in my life. I'm not currently medicated. I was for a period of time. If you need it, it's great. It really is great. They can be great. If they work for you, great. SSRIs can be great. So that, that helped me out. But my mom was a very, very anxious person. My grandmother was so anxious that she just blinked all the time. just like that, just all the time. I mean, you see me, right? I'm always touching my nose. I'm always pushing my hair back. I'm like chewing on my cheeks. You know, I'm an anxious dude. You know, it's just how I am. And this is a song for us. Anxiety, keep on trying me. I feel it quietly trying to silence me. Thank you. There are some songs about anxiety, but this is right on the nose. And listen, this is the time that we're in right now. We're postmodern. We're done. We're through being cool, as Devo said. All right, we are officially in the zone of let's just say how we feel. And there's so much goddamn soul in her voice. And I don't mean like soul music. I mean like soul, like human soul, like cannot replace, cannot pitch, cannot perfect, is soul. That leads to part 2, which is that great breath work at the end of the verse, and her voice has so much character and these little oohs. I could just listen to this little bit here, right before the rap, just after the first verse. It's just so gorgeous. And there's nothing on the gotye that gets me like this does. Then we get to the rap part 3, these kind of cut off rhymes. Butler, shine my cut. So cutting off cutlery. I just gave a midterm, actually, in my hip-hop class, and I gave them the story of OJ. And in that midterm, there was the reference, you're a house, go shine the cutlery. I'll be on the corner where the hustlers be, right? That's the... Anyways, I don't know if she just listened to 444 as well. And it ends with this like direction of like what to do with film, and it kind of ties into that amazing video from Denial is a River where she's in a kind of set. It's this great feeling. It's this great connection, this sort of cinematic, anxious setting. This returns us to the chorus, more singing, and then we get to the part 5. The part 5 that was my daughter's argument for why this song is not just rote imitation, is not just a pure pop song, because here's where we start to get the brah and so much more oh and layers. And I'm telling you, to me it just sounds very, very African in a very good way. Great complex rhythms, almost polyrhythms with the voices that are going on and the drums that are going on, because the sample itself is partly based on African rhythm, like actual African rhythms from actual Africa, okay? Like Lesotho is a country that exists. She's from South Africa. Lesotho is sort of nestled inside of South Africa. If you didn't know that, feel free. There's all sorts of things you can learn about Sub-Saharan Africa. I suggest you do. And you know what's the best way to start? Culture. Just start with culture. Just listen to this. You listen to this, and you listen to Fairuz, a singer from North Africa. Basically, all Africans will feel like you understand them on some level if you just appreciate that music a little bit. Anyways. And then we get to part 6, and just all this just oohs going, and the little wood block gets a little louder. And then part 7, we get the next rap verse with a great overdetermined Lil Wayne style rhyme. Court order from Florida. What's in that clear blue water? No limits, no borders. What's that new world order? Marco, Polo, Negro run from Popo. That blue light and that rojo. Kind of a political thing with the police, and then kind of tying that into the New World Order and tying it into the Florida and the court order. It's not quite clear. It's almost like she has kind of disorganized thoughts as she's going through these verses, which I think are supposed to reflect the disorganization that comes from all the anxiety. Part 8 is just breathing and spoken word. I get this tightness in my chest like an elephant is standing on me. I just let it take over. Anxiety keeps on trying me. That's how it feels. If you deal with anxiety, I literally kind of feel it right now, because my 6-month-old daughter's being put down right now by her mom, and like I made this video wasn't planned. It was really like we were eating dinner, and like I wasn't going to do this video, so like I should be taking a shower right now so we can get to bed earlier so that she can get more sleep. And I'm anxious about how much time this video is taking. I just checked the timing. It says 13 minutes, and I told her it'd be under 10 minutes. And so I feel anxious, even though she loves my channel, she loves my videos. She bought me all this equipment that allows me to record at night, but I feel this kind of anxiety and this need to like be there for my family and also be here for this channel, because I feel like this channel is falling apart because it's not getting as many views, because people don't actually love hip hop. They just love hearing people talk about Drake and Kendrick, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep talking about hip hop. And if you're here watching me, then you know that's what's up. Keep watching my stuff. Check out for my IDK video, okay? Got that elephant on my chest. And then we get to part 9, which is the part that my son could not forgive because this felt to him too close to the female voice on that song. And I can't speak for him. I can't speak for you. If you have this relationship with the original song and it's that strong, I don't blame you. I just never heard that song before, or I thought it was a Bruno Mars song. I wanna lose your hand. You know that song that's a total Police ripoff, and then he sings that melody? Anyways. Then we get to the outro, part 10. So many layers. Just listen to it again. How many layers in this little quiet moment at the end. It's just so beautiful. So, there you go. It's a great song. I think it's great. I think it's moving things forward. I do think it is intentionally a pop rap song, which may have success. She may be doing the all things to all people trick and making a song that's going to work for everybody and also get people in because they recognize the sample. And if anyone can do it well, it's Doechii. All right, until next time, the camera's got to be around here somewhere. There it is.